All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants, and this is the Week 15 offensive line report. This is a good week to do it. We talked about it last week. We needed a victory. We needed a victory for this segment, and the Giants gave that to us. And honestly, some good film to look at. We're actually going to start off with some positive, just some good run blocking by these guys up front, creating holes for Saquon Barkley. And then for individual segments that we're going to go through, Ben Bredeson came back, looked solid. I'm going to do an Neal update. Obviously, he's the rookie. He had some struggles. He was honestly the worst of the bunch this week, which does suck. But, obviously he's a rookie. But this is a week where, Gates played well at left guard. He had his best week at left guard. Feliciano played fairly well at center. I know everyone will remember him for that Jonathan Allen play where he gave up a 5-yard loss. But Gates had that same play versus the Commanders 2 weeks ago at guard. And then Galinsky, he had one of his better games. He wasn't beat quickly in pass pro. And then in the run game, he was solid. So let's get into it. Make sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, first play, what are we going to go through? Now, Neal doesn't block well on this, but everyone else does really well. So Giants are going to run pin and pull. A lot of their big plays earlier in the season came off of this play, where you're going to have Thomas come out here. He's trying to get outside of the end. Does his job, right? All right, good job. So it's just, hey, if you have someone in the gap, in your gap, you're going to block down. If you don't like Feliciano, you're going to pull. So Gates down block, gets that outside shoulder, torques. Feliciano gets out and moves. Gets to that inside, he should have gotten to the inside shoulder of that linebacker. Davis does a good job spilling inside of this. But nonetheless, not a bad block. Glowinski, there's one thing that Glowinski does great. It's getting to linebackers from the backside. This is a hard... He fires out and seals this off. And this should be a nice big run for Saquon. And this is a hard block for Evan Neal versus Daron Payne. Evan Neal's not able to cross face on that. Obviously, he ends up running into Gates and Allen. Now, as much as I love Glowinski getting out, maybe this could be an adjustment for the Giants, is to have Glowinski kind of help here and then try and wash Bostic out. But, at the end of like Thomas is making that block on the back end, but we can't hold Neal to that Thomas standard now. But nonetheless, good blocking by, the majority of the offensive line. Now, here's just a run concept I love called Wham. And the Giants just run this really well. We are getting... Saquon's being tackled by the wide receiver's responsibility. So they're going to motion Bellinger in. And Glowinski is going to show block on Payne. He's going to show that he's going to down block on him, which is going to stop him from, getting slamming this down. And that allows Bellinger just to get to this inside shoulder, wham him out. Okay, and this is key right here. If Glowinski just goes off to 96, well, Payne's a smart player. He'd be unblocked. He's going to slam this down, and he's going to get inside of Daniel Bellinger, and he's going to blow this play up. But he does a good job. So you show this, and then Glowinski and Neal are going to swap places. So Glowinski, bam, good job. Neal climbs up to the safety, seals him off. Gates and Thomas are blocking their guys. And then Feliciano getting up to the second level. Seal him off, and you got... That's as much space as Saquon will get. And Hodgins isn't able to get down to this block. Now, I've seen some teams they will literally have... They would have they would have the wide receiver come down and block this, and then they'll have Evan Neal block this, but he's too far out to do that. You have to tighten the alignment. But nonetheless, good stuff all around on the offensive line. All 5 guys did a solid job. And then the last 3 run plays the first 3 run plays of the last drive of the game. First, you're going to run this draw. Now, Feliciano doesn't do a great job on this, Feliciano allows penetration, and that slows up Glowinski, and it allows this D lineman to spill inside of Glowinski, because you want Glowinski to get on the inside shoulder of him, but because Feliciano gives up ground, he's not able to do that. But nonetheless, at least occupies him for a second and allows Saquon to get to that second level. And then Thomas and Bredeson patiently getting up to the second level. Don't attack. Neither one are attacking their man. You are attacking the area where you want to seal off. So climb up, attack your blocks, turn your hips out, and there you go. You've got a hole. Good stuff. All right, first down. Let's run it. Let's run another play. Now, that's draw. That's a little more scheme than it is necessarily offensive lineman blocking great. Now we're going to run duo, which is just creating double teams, moving, pushing earth. And that's what the Giants did on these two runs. So they are trying to create as many double teams as possible. Now, you have a 6 versus 6. So Thomas is going to be one-on-one. Bellinger is going to be one-on-one. So these guys are going to be stepping together. That's what gives it away that it's duo. See how they're stepping together? Stepping together, shoulder to shoulder. You like them to be a little hip to hip, but still good. Get good movement. And then you are just walking this up into the linebacker. The linebacker is coming to you. You don't need to get out on your horse and get to the linebacker. This linebacker is coming to you. Feliciano does that. Great job. Gets his helmet inside his. And then Bredeson with good hand placement, good hand usage, sustains this block. Gives Saquon a crease. Glowinski and Neal stepping together. Neal, get rid of that false step. Stepping together. Glowinski does a great job working this to the back shoulder of, or to the right shoulder of Neal. Walks up to this linebacker, seals him off. Bam. And then Saquon Barkley gets a press B. Give him space. Bam. Get another 5-6 yards from a broken tackle. Good stuff. And then we're just going to run it again. We're going to run the same exact play again. Now, this is awesome on the front side. This is great, just playing, like, communication, playing well with it. And this is Bredeson coming right back into the lineup. Hasn't been in the lineup since the Jaguars game. Jaguars game. So they are running a run blitz. So what does that mean? He's going to shoot this gap, and then the linebacker is going to fill the C gap. Just great awareness by all of these guys, by Bredeson and Thomas. Thomas gets hands on him. Bredeson sees it, gets his eyes on it, picks it up. Thomas picks up the linebacker. And then Feliciano, he's getting that push. He's driving his feet. And we are moving earth. We are moving earth. I mean, we there you go. And then Glowinski and Neal stepping together. Again, fix the false step, Evan Neal. Walking up into this linebacker. You got a crease for Saquon Barkley. Hits the spin again. Bam. Past the 50. And then end up getting into field goal range. So, wanted to start it off because a lot of times we come on here and we talk about this guy stinks, this guy stinks. Honestly, besides Evan Neal, this offensive line played really well. And in the run game, that's when it shows the most. That's when you see the unit working together at its best. So, hopefully they can build on this. Commanders play light boxes, weirdly enough, but good stuff from the Giants up front. Now let's talk about Ben Bredeson. All right, so Ben Bredeson made his return. He hasn't played in 2 months. The last game he played in was that Jags game. Played in 2/3 of the snaps. Now, he played in the same amount of series as Nick Gates, but there was just longer drives when Ben Bredeson was on the field. And Ben Bredeson's showing why he is like the best interior offensive lineman on this team. Like, he came back in and looked like himself. I think really he should be the starting left guard full-time going forward, and they should just put Nick Gates as center. I know Feliciano didn't play bad in this game, but it's Nick Gates should be the center, and then Bredeson's the left guard. you do see some direct results in the run game with Bredeson. So let's get into it. We're going to go through the pass pro. We obviously saw some of his good plays in this first segment going through it, but let's go through. We're going to go through the pass pro and what makes him the best pass blocker on the interior for this Giants offensive line. And one part of it is just being, they say pass pro is not passive. Aggressiveness with the pass pro. Like, one, we're getting off the ball and we are bringing the punch. We are connecting. We are punching. We are getting off the snap, and we are bringing the violence. We are bringing the hand fight. We got good hand leverage. Just being aggressive with your pass pro. Jump setting this. Jonathan Allen, top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL. Bam. Stun him. Good knee bend. Wide base. Hand placement's a little high, but fighting with it. And the ball gets out quick on this. Like, good stuff. Here again, get aggressive with it. I mean, look at him fire out of his stance. I mean, that it stuns Allen. He brings that punch. Keeps his feet moving with it. Bring the punch. Replace your hands. Just getting aggressive with it. I know the part of this is they ran a lot of quick game, but still, here, kill the will. We get aggressive. Allen wants to work this pass rush move. Get in his chest, get that punch, and then reload the hands. Don't let him use your hands against you. Reload the hands. I mean, hands are in perfect placement. Land them back. Now watch the feet. Watch the feet, how they work methodically. 1, 2, 1, 2. He wants to counter back inside. We're going to swing that gate, and we are going to be horizontal with the line of scrimmage. Or with the field. Now you killed the will. You killed the will. Third down. That was a third down conversion. Good job by Ben Bredeson. Here he loses initially, but does a decent job recovering. So, sets towards him. Allen's going to work outside. Hands are low, and he loses that battle. Hands are low, and Allen's able to get inside and get that leverage on him. His hands are high and outside. Adjust the hands. Watch that left hand get inside. And just the feet stay calm. Like, he's inside you. He's got leverage. He's got the power to bull you. A lot of guys at this point are getting just totally driven back quickly. Like, at least make it a process with Bredeson. And then on this was a third down. Just a little slow on the stunt pickup. Like, good job setting towards it, staying connected. Thomas picks it up. Just kind of like, what's coming. You have to get off at this point. A little late on it. DJ still delivers a nice third down throw. And then in the run game, obviously we saw a lot of the run reps in the first segment. But this was his first play back. This is his first play back in 2 months. I mean, look at him fire off. Good first step. Pick it up, put it down. We are getting into the chest. Working that double team, allowing Feliciano to get to it, and allow Feliciano to help Feliciano get that movement. Then pick up the linebacker. I mean, this is his first play back. We're backed up at our 2-yard line. Let's get it out to the 6. Let's give us some breathing room to run a little play action on the next play and get a 15-yard gain. Bam, fire off, hit the linebacker. Thomas is tossing dudes. Good stuff. And then last play of this drive, Bredeson's pulling kick out. Get to where you want. You could get in trouble doing this, but just explodes, rolls the hips through it, keeps the feet moving. Touchdown. You haven't played in 2 months, and just let it all out. I mean, I know that feeling. That's a great feeling right there. Just letting it all out. Like, I'm back. So I'm very happy for Ben Bredeson to get back. Honestly, He's played well this year. If you look at just pass blocking efficiency numbers, which you shouldn't just look at, he's top 10 for guards. And the film's backed it up for the most part this year. He's had a bad week 1 versus the Titans. He had a bad game versus the Packers, but he's been solid. I think the biggest thing going against him right now is injury issues. Like, he's had bad injury issues since he's been in New York Giants. I think he got injured 3 separate times last season. Dealt with some injuries in camp and then came in and then had the injury versus the Jags. So, but nonetheless, very good stuff from Ben Bredeson. Should be the starting left guard going forward. All right, O-line report people. Do you like buying stuff for people just because you're a nice person? Yeah, I know you are. And Muggsy was going to give you a little cheat code. The only jeans you'll ever want to wear again. The most damn comfortable denim ever made and designed to fit you perfectly every single time. Plus, they're so soft and they're available in any color you would ever want. Head to Muggsy.com and grab the gift of insanely comfortable style for everyone in your life this year. Staples that every guy needs in his closet. Jeans, flannel, jackets, you name it. Cornbread. They make it look incredible and feel even softer than I thought was possible. Seriously. Use code JOHNBOY for 10% off your entire order with free shipping and free returns. That's Muggsy.com and code JOHNBOY to give yourself or a loved one a perfect, awesome gift. All right, let's finish it off with Evan Neal. But first, before we get into technique and stuff, I want to point something out. Watch hold his left arm after this play, right? Watch him hold that left arm. Like, he's holding it, it's hurt. Watch last week. I think he's dealing with some type of injury with his left hand. Now, that's not the reason he's playing poorly. I'm sure it has something to do with it. But just wanted to point that out. I haven't seen anyone mention that yet. With Neal, there's technique issues. They're kind of the same things he struggled with, and Montez Sweat is a bad matchup for those issues that he's had, and we'll go through that. But there's other things like confidence stuff. Like, he had 2 false starts in this game, and then I put these 2 in here as well. Yeah, I know you're on the road, you're working silent count. I mean, we're the last guy off the ball. Every single guy's kind of into their second step on offense and defense, and Neal's kind of stuck in his stance, and we've seen that a few times out of him. In this game, false starts. Like, I think there really is some confidence stuff there, which is to be expected for the Rook. Like, just put yourself behind. A good recovery on that, but then this is the next play. Next play. Look. Everyone's partying, and we're still stuck in our stance. We're still stuck in our stance when everyone else is partying. We haven't even gotten to our first step. So I just wanted to point out those couple things to start before we get into the technique stuff. Let's get into the technique stuff that you guys love so much. Again, Sweat is not a good matchup for Neal as a rookie because he's strong and he's very long. Like, he is unbelievable. He has long arms. He's 6'7". Neal, like, that length and size of Neal's not going to just win versus Montez Sweat. So, Sweat does this little stutter step, this hezzy. It just kind of gets Neal thinking about the feet, and then it just leaves, no punch happens with this, and it just leaves that inside shoulder available, and we're going to see, man, guys are attacking that inside shoulder. But this is the main issue with Evan Neal, is getting to that third step in his pass sets. They're working these aggressive 45 pass sets where we're getting aggressive, we're setting towards, the pass rusher instead of setting vertically. And he's done it better with the first couple steps. Like, he's getting out of his stance, bam, bam, we're good, right? And he's just got to trust his athleticism. That he doesn't need to do this, which is open his hips up on that third step. We are going 1, 2, and then he's letting go of it. He's worried about getting beat around the corner on that third step, and it's just putting him in bad situations. You are opening up your hips. You are crossing your feet up because of this. He just needs to block through the pass rusher. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Trust it. Trust it. Take one more step. Take one more step, and if he inside counters, push off that right foot. And then you see Sweat has those long arms, gets into the chest, bull and pull. I mean, take it, and then taking advantage of what Neal might just be a weakness for his entire career, which is kind of being a little top heavy and having some balance issues. But that's not an excuse for not getting that third step down. Let's see it again. Next play. Just a 3rd and 9. 1 step. Good, right? 2 step. Good, right? And then 3rd step, the same thing. The 3rd step, instead of just stepping right here, he is opening his hips. He's swinging this foot back, opening up his hips, which is now has his left foot crossing him up, and you're not going to have good balance when you do that. What does Sweat do? Rip through. He's got his hands on him. Rip through. Get around the corner. And then again versus Sweat, it leaves that inside shoulder vulnerable. Again, watch the feet. 1. Let's watch Thomas. 1, 2, 3. Right? Blocking through him. 1, 2, 3. Blocking through him. And then you land, and then it's like, all right, you let your athleticism take over. I think they charged Thomas with a QB hit on this. It's kind of, I don't know, what's he supposed to do? But anyways, back to Neal. First 2 steps are good. And look, we're matching Thomas. 1, 2. And then that 3rd step, instead of having that 3rd step and dragging the left foot, we are clicking that left foot with the right foot, opening up your hips. So Sweat has been able to get into that chest, and he's done that, that rip around the edge. Well, this time, Neal is shifting his weight this way. He's off balance, and Sweat's just going to jack up that inside shoulder, and ride him into the quarterback. Again, if he just want to step through it, man, it'll shut down so much. It closes that space, doesn't allow them, and then punch with it. It's going to help him. Like, once he gets that down, it's going to make everything easier. It's not going to fix his game. He's not going to be perfect, but it's just going to help him with so many other areas of his game once he can get that down. And you saw the inside shoulder get attacked in this game a few times. In this one, like, Sweat is attacking it from the 2nd step, and then kind of gets tangled up with Payne too on this. But use those hands. Now, you don't want to have your hands out here for them to use against you, But with Neal, I know Bobby Johnson teaches the 2-handed punch. So these outside hands clamping like this, it just allows your chest to be exposed. And for a guy who's getting beat like that right now, just kind of got to bring some violence with your punch. But anyways, 4 games at least. We're making the playoffs. 4 games at least for Evan Neal's growth for the rest of the season. Hope you guys enjoyed this O-line report. It's a lot more fun when they win. Good stuff out of the whole O-line besides Evan Neal. I know we didn't do segments on Feliciano and Gates and Glowinski and even Thomas this week. Thomas wasn't his best game, but he played fine. He played really well, but his best game is like elite stuff. This was just really good game. Results were elite. So yeah, like and subscribe. Tell your friends about the O-line report. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Let's go Big Blue.